The formation of nearly 10,000 cultivators had not yet been fully set up. They had received the order from the divine sect and hurriedly rushed over to arrange the formation. However, Wang Lin arrived too quickly, and at this moment, only less than 30% of the formation had been completed. Colluding with the outer realm. Traitors seeking glory. Wang Lin's voice carried an undeniable pressure, causing the nearly 10,000 cultivators to fall into silence. As his voice spread across the starry sky, it was also clearly heard by the many mighty figures from the 4 great star domains who were currently paying attention to this place. Having gained the sealing boundary sovereign's favor, he slaughters slaves on his behalf. Upon hearing this, the various experts from the 4 great star domains were deeply shaken. Nonsense. 9 Annihilation Heavenly Array. Blast this sect master traitor to death. Waterpath Master's sharp voice suddenly boomed from the divine sect, like a sword cutting through the heavens, aiming straight for Wang Lin's soul. Wang Lin's eyes flashed coldly, and with a sneer, a thunderous sound echoed. His power shattered Waterpath Master's voice and the sword-like energy it created, while at the same time, he pressed his finger to his brow. A flash of bloodlight appeared and vanished, unnoticed. Wang Lin took a step forward, heading toward the divine sect. He was heading toward the peak of the Sea of Clouds, to battle the 3rd step powerhouse, Waterpath Master. Behind him, a towering wave of icy coldness spread across the area, the sound of cracking ice reverberating around. Countless mists were frozen, and from afar, the scene was nothing short of shocking. The ice-locked mists emitted an overwhelming killing aura. This killing aura, emanating both from the mist and Wang Lin himself, merged together to form the essence of Slaughter Origin. It was this very Slaughter Origin that made Wang Lin appear like an immortal slayer at this moment. As soon as this Slaughter Origin emerged, it immediately sent shockwaves through the mighty figures of the 4 great star domains. Especially Waterpath Master, who was sitting cross-legged atop the divine sect's cultivation star. Upon sensing this Slaughter Origin, his expression instantly darkened, and disbelief filled his eyes. Another origin. His original origins were already many, and now there's another one. And it's the Slaughter Origin, one that even the sealing boundary sovereign couldn't fully comprehend back in the day. But what does that matter? Waterpath Master's face contorted in a vicious sneer as he clutched a golden bell tightly, gazing up at the sky with a cold smile. Wang Lin took another step forward. The nearly 10,000 cultivators in the 9 Annihilation Heavenly Array felt immense pressure from his fighting intent, and they all changed their expressions in unison and retreated. They had no choice but to retreat. Wang Lin's step was like stepping on their hearts, syncing with the beating of their hearts. With every step Wang Lin took, the near 10,000 cultivators were forced to step back several paces. A single person's power, combined with the tens of thousands of feet of ice frost behind him and the violent aura of Slaughter Origin, was enough to push back an entire army. It was as though Wang Lin, standing before them, was no longer a mere cultivator, but a demon god who had returned from the ancient past. An immortal slayer demon god. To Waterpath Master, the scene he had prepared with so much effort felt like a distant memory. It was as though yesterday he had been on the savage star of the Sea of Clouds, calculating the heavenly Tao with Tian Yunzi's soul, preparing to struggle for survival under Waterpath Master's heavenly might. But now, the tables had completely turned. Wang Lin had become the heavenly might, while Waterpath Master had become the one struggling for survival. My grudge with Waterpath Master has nothing to do with you. Step aside. Wang Lin's voice rang out as he took another step forward. With every step, nearly 10,000 cultivators were forced to retreat several paces. His one-man power, under the suffocating ice frost and Slaughter Origin, was enough to push back an entire army. Kill. Don't let him enter the divine sect. The divine sect has given its orders. We swear to block him. We, the Sea of Clouds cultivators, fear nothing, not even death. The near 10,000 cultivators were pale, retreating without any place to go. Behind them was the divine sect, the very place they had devoted their lives to in their cultivation. For tens of thousands of years, the divine sect's status had been such that all cultivators of the Sea of Clouds revered it, willing to die in battle for it. Waterpath Master's goal was also to have them die. to die at Wang Lin's hands, using their deaths to incite the anger of all the Sea of Clouds cultivators, as well as that of the other 3 star domains, and to use their deaths to secure a great achievement in preparation for the Outer Realm invasion. In the face of both fear and glory, the nearly 10,000 Sea of Clouds cultivators displayed the dignity of the cultivators within the realm. They suppressed their fear and chose glory. Glory to the Sea of Clouds. Glory to the Sea of Clouds. Glory to the Sea of Clouds. With each roar, the nearly 10,000 cultivators released the strongest sound of their lives, a vow to protect the divine sect, a vow to protect the Sea of Clouds. This sound was enough to shake the hearts and minds of anyone who heard it, sending a tremor through their very souls. Under the resounding call of this war of honor, nearly 10,000 cultivators of the Sea of Clouds seemed to fall into a frenzy. They no longer retreated but surged forward as one, forcing the incomplete 9 Annihilation heavenly array into a roaring operation. With their mortal flesh and unyielding will, they fought to defend the honor of the divine sect. Pitiful, yet worthy of reverence. Wang Lin's heart was deeply stirred. He watched as the Sea of Clouds cultivators charged ahead. Among them were a few familiar faces from years past, but most were strangers. These cultivators varied in strength. They each held unique insights into the Tao and hailed from different sects, yet they all shared the same bloodline of the Sea of Clouds, the same unwavering beliefs and pursuits. They were the Sea of Clouds, true cultivators who faced death without fear. What they defended was not the Water Path Master, but the divine sect itself. They knew nothing of the Water Path Master's treachery. All they knew was that the divine sect had commanded, and Wang Lin must not be allowed to set even half a foot inside. Sea of Clouds honor. This was the pride of every Sea of Clouds cultivator, their unshakable glory. Under this banner of honor, even a third step great power, even Wang Lin himself, could not simply push forward. Though he could easily kill with a mere flick of his hand, how could he strike now? Driven by this blazing honor, the cultivators charged forward with growing madness. Faced with them, Wang Lin stepped back once more. As he gazed upon their faces, it was as if he saw echoes of the past, like those ancient immortals of the Rainbow Realm, defending the sealed realm grand array with all they had, their indomitable spirits unwilling to yield, even in death. At that moment, every great cultivator who had projected their divine senses from across the star domains, and even the rare great powers, witnessed this scene and heard the voice of life itself, rising from the Sea of Clouds. This voice stirred the hearts of all, enough to inspire cultivators across the inner realm and the other 3 star domains to awaken the same sense of honor within themselves. This was no longer the Water Path Master's scheme to break the will of the inner realm's cultivators or disrupt their preparations for war. It had instead ignited a war of honor that called every cultivator of the inner realm to defend their homeland. Even the Water Path Master was left dumbfounded. He had never expected such a turn of events. He had underestimated the Sea of Clouds cultivators and the honor they held within their hearts. Water Path Master, you deserve to die. A murderous glint surged in Wang Lin's eyes as he retreated. With a heavy stomp, he strode forward, raising his sleeve and pointing ahead. In that moment, disregarding the cost of his own primordial energy and pushing the limits of his strength, he let out a low, furious roar. But that roar was not aimed at the near 10,000 cultivators. It was hurled at the true mastermind lurking behind them, the Water Path Master. Body immobilization art, freeze. A thunderous boom echoed as heaven and earth shook, the starry sky trembled, and in that instant, all motion ceased. Every cultivator, every shifting star, every change in the heavens, every rotating formation, everything was frozen in place. It wasn't just their bodies that were immobilized, but even their divine senses. In this moment under the banner of Sea of Clouds honor, Wang Lin's body immobilization art underwent a strange transformation. This change was born of the near 10,000 cultivators before him, triggered by his heart's refusal to slaughter them. Though Wang Lin did not fully understand it, he faintly sensed a revelation. The body immobilization art had evolved into the spirit stabilization art. Only by possessing spirit could one truly stabilize the heavens. This spirit was not some deity nor divine sense, but a will, a current of honor, a thought beyond words. In all of creation, only the single word spirit could describe it. In the past, Wang Lin had lacked this spirit, or perhaps he possessed only a faint trace of it. But now, after witnessing the power born from these 10,000 cultivators, he finally grasped a sliver of understanding. One word to freeze the body. One word to stabilize the spirit. The heavens halted. All fell silent. Only the glory of honor remained, stretching endlessly across the starry sky. As the cultivators froze in place, Wang Lin swept his sleeve forward. Wherever his sleeve passed, the cultivators melted into the heavens, forcibly shifted aside by Wang Lin's power. Yet not a single one was harmed. They were worthy of respect. With the heavens roaring around him, Wang Lin moved the 10,000 cultivators aside. But no power could move the overwhelming honor that filled the world. Striding forward within this sea of honor, Wang Lin sped toward the divine sect's cultivation star, toward the meditating Water Path Master. Water Path Master, do you dare face me in an honorable battle? The divine sect's cultivation star quaked violently. The land shattered as countless fissures tore across its surface. Wang Lin pierced through the star's fierce gales, appearing high above its sky. His arrival unleashed waves of frost stretching thousands of zhang behind him. With a chorus of cracking sounds, the very sky seemed to freeze, ice spreading outward, blanketing the land beneath. In his wake, a realm of ice 10,000 li wide. Amid this world of frost, Wang Lin's gaze locked onto a distant figure, seated cross-legged among 5 mountain peaks, the Water Path Master. Wang Lin, you wretched brat. The Water Path Master's shrill voice pierced the heavens. Look who they are. A twisted, sinister look crossed the Water Path Master's face as he pointed toward the sky. The world thundered, and amid the void between Wang Lin and the Water Path Master, a hazy, illusory image began to take shape in the shifting void. Surrounded by several black-clad cultivators, the disciples of the Origin Reunion sect found themselves trapped in a basin. Above them loomed a massive mountain, radiating blinding light, as if ready to crush everyone in the basin with a single strike. They will die because of you. Let's see if your Tao heart cracks. Water Path Master laughed maniacally as he stood, raising his right hand and waving it forward. Are you worthy? Wang Lin replied calmly, as if everything happening had been expected. Water Path Master froze, and then disaster struck. Around the mountain, more than 10 black-clad cultivators floated in midair, their faces cold and cruel smiles twisted on their lips. They seemed eager to witness the tragic deaths of the Origin Reunion sect's disciples. But suddenly, a flash of bloodlight swept through the basin, turning the entire scene red. The blood was as bright as crimson. Under this red light, a blood sword, gleaming with an ominous glow, shot toward the giant mountain. With a sharp whistle, it headed straight for the mountain hovering above the basin, which was about to crush everyone below. All this happened in an instant, too fast to comprehend. In the blink of an eye, the blood sword collided with the mountain. This mountain was no ordinary peak. It was protected by countless restrictions, and in that moment, these restrictions flickered wildly, attempting to block the blood sword. Yet, the sword's edge was so sharp that even a third-step great power could not resist it. Even Tuosen's body would be torn apart before it. This mere mountain, even if it was Water Path Master's treasure or an artifact of the divine sect, could not withstand it. The blood sword pierced through the mountain with unstoppable force, and as it passed, countless blood-red cracks spread across the entire peak. With a deafening roar, the mountain crumbled. Massive rocks shattered and flew in all directions, but some fell faster toward the ground. The dozen or so black-clad cultivators around the mountain immediately reacted, charging toward the blood sword, intending to seal its destructive force. Another flash of bloodlight. The speed of the blood sword had already reached unimaginable levels, flickering in and out as the falling rocks were shattered again. A series of horrific screams echoed as the cultivators who had rushed forward suddenly had blood holes pierced through their chests. Several others had bloodlines appear on their foreheads as the sword pierced through their bodies and heads. With a thunderous crash, all the black-clad cultivators fell to the ground, their eyes dim, lifeless. Their soul spirits could not escape their bodies and shattered instantly. As they died, their bodies rapidly decayed, turning into desiccated corpses, all vitality drained by the blood sword. Everything happened too quickly to follow, but if time had slowed down, one would see the blood sword, after shattering the rocks, sucking the life out of each black-clad cultivator. The moment it pierced through their bodies, their flesh began to wither, their vitality absorbed by the sword. By the time the blood sword passed through them and landed on the ground, all that remained were their lifeless, skeletal corpses. Within the illusory realm between Wang Lin and Water Path Master, all this transpired in the span of 3 breaths. "Are you worthy?" Wang Lin's words echoed in the cultivation star, and as the illusion shattered, the blood sword, after slaughtering everyone, broke through the illusion and shot outward with a deafening roar. As it broke through, the smell of blood, once only witnessed, now filled the air. The shattered illusion allowed the bloody stench to seep out. With the blood sword nearby, Wang Lin's eyes were cold as he stepped forward, approaching the stunned Water Path Master. Raising his right hand, he slammed it downward onto Water Path Master with incredible force. The heavens and earth shook. While Wang Lin was not a third-step great power, his physical body was more than enough. As he raised his hand, a giant hand manifested in the sky. This hand covered the sky and, with a thunderous crash, descended from behind Wang Lin, passing through his body, aiming directly for Water Path Master below. From a distance, the scene was unforgettable. The 5 peaks beneath Water Path Master's feet, as if one giant hand, collided with Wang Lin's massive hand falling from the sky. Water Path Master's expression twisted with fury. As Wang Lin approached, his sleeves fluttered, and several rainbow-colored nails materialized, rushing toward Wang Lin with a howling sound. "Little bastard, since you're courting death, I'll grant your wish." At this crucial moment, Water Path Master remained arrogant, swinging his hand. Several colorful nails turned into vibrant rainbows that directly collided with Wang Lin's palm. The deafening crash shook the heavens and the earth, causing the entire cultivation star to violently tremble. Wang Lin's illusory palm suddenly shattered, and the force from the colorful nails pushed Wang Lin back 3 steps, making him stumble. However, those nails trembled violently under the immense power, as if a fierce wind had swept through, and they were quickly spun around, flying off toward the distance. Showdown. As the ground shook, large amounts of debris fell from 5 mountain peaks, as if trembling. Water Path Master spat out a mouthful of blood, his eyes filled with shock, and he roared in fury. Although he had anticipated Wang Lin's strength, he hadn't expected him to be this powerful. One palm strike had not only shattered the colorful nails, but also caused him to vomit blood. It forced him into a corner, unable to use his remaining tricks, and he had to pay a great price to seek help. Just as Water Path Master roared, a booming, long laugh echoed through the heavens and earth. The sky, once clear, was now swallowed by a vast, ink-black force. In an instant, day turned to night, and the entire cultivation star was cloaked in darkness. Under this night sky, an illusory figure materialized, striding toward Wang Lin. "Take the money and do the job, Water Path Master. Don't forget the promise. I will only strike for you once." The illusory figure solidified into an old man in black. This old man had a face full of sores, his appearance grotesque. But compared to the great Baron Sage from years ago, he was still far inferior. As he approached Wang Lin, he covered a distance of less than 100 yards in the blink of an eye. "Young friend, I hope you'll cooperate and hand over that 6th-grade Dao spirit." Although the old man in black spoke calmly, his heart was full of caution. The shock from Wang Lin's earlier palm strike made him uneasy. He had been eager to get his hands on the 6th-grade Dao spirit and had already split his attention to this location. However, Wang Lin's earlier strike had caused him to hesitate. Though his words were smooth, his strike would be with all his might. In an instant, as the old man neared, a vast and boundless swamp of mud appeared behind him. The arrival of this old man seemingly like the roar of a muddy ocean, intending to swallow Wang Lin whole. Water Path Master's eyes flashed with an intense killing intent as he stepped forward, attacking from one direction, while the old man in black came from the other. Together, they aimed to kill Wang Lin. Two-third step, great powers joining forces to kill a single person was a rare occurrence even in the outer realm, let alone the inner realm. At this very moment, a series of rippling waves suddenly appeared behind Wang Lin in the pitch-black sky. They moved silently and rapidly toward him. Within those waves, 32 abacus beads materialized, drawing a straight line as they rapidly approached. Wang Lin's expression remained calm as he didn't even glance at the old man in black or the approaching abacus beads. Instead, he took a step toward Waterpath Master. The moment his body moved, a flash of purple light appeared at the center of his brow. The spirit Agile Sage's figure materialized without hesitation, grinning as he moved toward the old man in black. His right hand swung forward, and the heavens shook. A massive purple sea spread out, the endless souls of worshipping spirits howling. Within this purple sea, the nimble demon god statue appeared with its arms crossed before stretching them wide. At almost the same time as the spirit Agile Sage's appearance, an earth-shattering wolf's howl rang out. Zhou Jin's figure transformed into a blood wolf several tens of thousands of yards long, heading straight toward the approaching abacus beads behind Wang Lin. Wolves worshipping the moon. With a cold and detached growl, the dark sky seemed torn apart by a blood moon that descended, enveloping the earth. A massive roar echoed throughout the land. The old man in black and the spirit Agile Sage clashed, their divine abilities colliding. The old man had split his attention to come here, but in terms of incense power, he was no match for the spirit Agile Sage. As their powers collided, the swamp behind the old man collapsed. He spat out a mouthful of essence spirit energy and retreated in haste, his face pale, shock clearly evident in his eyes. "Who are you?" "I am the servant of my master, Spirit Agile." The spirit Agile Sage coldly sneered and immediately pursued. Heaven and earth roared as the two of them engaged in battle once again. On another front, Zhou Jin's divine ability caused the red moon in the sky to crash down with a deafening sound. As the howls of wolves reverberated throughout the sea of clouds, they charged toward the approaching abacus beads. As soon as they made contact, the abacus beads exploded with loud bangs. In the ensuing distortion of heaven and earth, a middle-aged man with a shocked and incredulous expression appeared. This middle-aged man was actually the real body, who had recently bled and retreated. Zhou Jin also took several steps back, but his expression remained calm. He charged forward, and with a hand gesture, the blood wolf behind him roared and opened its mouth wide, heading straight for the middle-aged man to devour him. At the same time, Wang Lin, stepping forward, rapidly approached Waterpath Master. A ferocious, manic expression appeared on Waterpath Master's face as a sharp, piercing voice echoed in all directions. Yinyang disciples. Behind him, a massive rift tore open, and countless Yinyang disciples flew out from within. At the command of Waterpath Master's right hand, they transformed into a gigantic spear, aimed directly at Wang Lin. This spear embodied Waterpath Master's entire cultivation and accumulated incense power. It appeared like a fleeting glimpse of a divine phenomenon, the earth itself trembling as cracks began to form across the cultivation star, as if it were on the brink of destruction. "Such a you. I find it unsatisfying to kill." Wang Lin shook his head, and at the moment the spear created from Waterpath Master's divine ability and incense power neared, Wang Lin's right hand rose in a fist and struck forward with immense force. "This punch, on behalf of the Sealing Venerable, will break your rebel disciple's form." A simple punch, but it carried an overwhelming confidence, as if Wang Lin himself had mastered life and death. As the punch was unleashed, it collided with the spear formed from Waterpath Master's divine ability and incense power. A thunderous boom rang out, shaking heaven and earth. The spear's tip cracked and shattered into countless fine fragments, which then spun back, causing the spear's body to resonate. The force was unstoppable. The entire spear disintegrated, and amidst the wailing screams, the countless incensed souls scattered into nothingness under the punch. Waterpath Master's body shook violently, and an expression of indescribable horror appeared in his eyes. Unable to suppress it any longer, he spat a mouthful of blood. His body staggered backward with each step, the heavens rumbling with each retreat. In an instant, Water Pathmaster had retreated 9 steps, spitting out 9 mouthfuls of blood. A series of explosions emanated from within him, as an immense countershock force spread, wreaking havoc inside his body. The appearance of his young disciple aged before his eyes. Impossible. Impossible. What sort of destiny have you gained? How can you possess such terrifying power? After 9 steps, the overwhelming force from Wang Lin's 7 stars ancient god's body erupted with unstoppable power. Water Pathmaster could no longer resist, and his body was thrown backward, crashing into the middle of one of the 5 mountain peaks. The mountain trembled violently, and the sound of cracking spiderweb-like fissures spread across it. With a thunderous roar, the mountain collapsed, splitting in 2 as the massive body crumbled. Dust flew into the air, and the earth, now in a ring shape, swept across the surroundings. Wang Lin, hovering in the air, looked down at Water Pathmaster like he was an insignificant ant, slowly descending. In the distance, the old man in black, who had been locked in a constant battle with the spirit Agile Sage, now had a pale face, his heart shaken, secretly groaning. He was filled with fear, especially toward Wang Lin, who didn't even spare him a glance. Who is this person, to have a third-step cultivator as his servant? A person like this is not someone to offend. It's all that Water Pathmaster's fault. The middle-aged man fighting Zhou Jin also had an expression of horror on his face. Though his strength was comparable to Zhou Jin's, the latter's incense power far exceeded his own. This disparity forced him to retreat, even resorting to using magic tools to defend himself. This is not worth it, not worth it. I've offended a person who has a third-step cultivator as a servant for the sake of that spirit stabilization art. I, Yin Fengzi, am going to lose big on this deal. Wang Lin's expression remained calm, but a flash of killing intent flickered in his eyes. His steps thundered as he moved toward Water Pathmaster below. His right hand rose again, preparing to unleash a second punch. At that moment, Water Pathmaster wiped the blood from his mouth and abandoned his intention to shatter Wang Lin's Dao heart. The demon sage of the ghost sect seemed uninterested in the countless disciples' incense power and showed no sign of intervening. Forced to act, Water Pathmaster stood up and let out a low roar toward the sky. Taialuo. With Water Pathmaster's roar, a sigh reverberated through the heavens and earth. From the shattered sky, which had been distorted by the battles, a figure slowly emerged. The figure was blurry, barefoot, walking step by step. There was no fluctuation of primordial energy from his body, and his appearance was as if he had always existed there. When he stepped out, the barefooted man didn't look at Water Pathmaster, but instead cupped his hands toward Wang Lin from a distance. A transformation cultivator, Taialuo, meets this generation's sealing venerable. Wang Lin's body paused for a moment as he looked at the figure. His pupils contracted slightly. The appearance of this barefooted man was so strange that Wang Lin had not sensed his presence before, even though he had noticed Zhou Da and Yun Fengzi earlier. A transformation cultivator. Wang Lin didn't speak, but merely gazed at the figure calmly. I have no intention to be your enemy. If you release the seal on me, I can lead all the clans of the Cloud Sea Rift to battle in the inner realm. I can even kill this man for you. The barefooted man spoke softly, his voice calm. Water Pathmaster's expression changed. Your matter will be discussed later. Wang Lin turned his head, ignoring the person, and instead stepped forward, closing in on Water Pathmaster. His speed was so sudden that in the blink of an eye, he was almost upon him. His right hand rose, clenched into a fist, and with a powerful strike, he shot forward again. This punch, on behalf of the sealing venerable, will destroy the flesh body of your slave. Wang Lin's momentum surged like a tidal wave. As he stepped forward, he waved his hand, and the heavens rumbled, fierce winds swirling as they swept across all directions. Behind him, the ancient head transformed and merged into his fist, turning into a gigantic hand that blotted out the sky, smashing down with an earth-shattering roar. From a distance, the entire heavens seemed to be overtaken by the shadow of this punch, descending toward the earth. Water Pathmaster's eyes showed madness. With his cultivation, he could clearly sense the killing intent within this punch, and the overwhelming, tremor-inducing aura that shook his soul. Primordial force, Yin-Yang immortal dragons. Waterpath Master's face turned pale as he roared, quickly forming hand seals in front of his body. In an instant, two immense waves of primordial energy, one black and one white, erupted from his body, coalescing in front of him into two intertwined dragons. These two dragons roared and rushed toward Wang Lin's fist, ready to devour it. At that very moment, Waterpath Master's eyes turned bloodshot, and he spat a mouthful of fresh blood. With a wave of his large sleeves, countless fine threads suddenly appeared around him. These threads were all black and white, weaving into an intricate, vast net, filled with a sense of destruction. As Waterpath Master swung his right hand, the net shot toward Wang Lin's fist in the sky. Immediately afterward, Waterpath Master tore open a storage rift, and a massive amount of magical treasures shot out, glowing with all colors of the rainbow, forming scenes of immense light, rushing toward the heavens. In the instant all of this entered the sky, it collided head-on with Wang Lin's illusory punch. A deafening explosion rang out, shaking the very heavens and earth, and the roar of chaos spread through the sea of clouds. The two dragons let out a mournful scream as they collided with Wang Lin's fist, exploding with a massive force, followed by the vast net, which shattered layer by layer in the violent tremor. Even the storm of magical treasures created by Waterpath Master could not withstand the punch. With a deafening explosion, all the treasures seemed to disintegrate, unable to resist the power of Wang Lin's 7 stars ancient god punch. Everything happened in the blink of an eye. After the destruction, Wang Lin's illusory fist smashed into Waterpath Master, who had been sent flying into the air. With a massive boom, Waterpath Master's chest exploded, and blood mist poured out. His body was involuntarily sent crashing back toward the ground by the force of Wang Lin's illusory punch. The ground of the cultivation star trembled violently. Waterpath Master's feet slammed into the earth, and he raised both hands, pressing desperately against the massive fist. Blood poured from his mouth, staining his clothes. His eyes were filled with madness as he screamed, and a flash of golden light shot out from his mouth. Within that golden light was a bell. The bell was spat out by Waterpath Master, heading straight for Wang Lin's fist. A surge of pure immortal energy suddenly spread throughout the heavens and earth. The bell emitted a series of crisp sounds, and as it collided with Wang Lin's fist, a golden wave erupted from within. This golden wave contained a Taoist divine ability from the ancient immortal domain. The moment it appeared, it spread out from the cultivation star at an unimaginable speed, enveloping the surrounding 4 great star domains: Cloud Sea Star Domain, Alliance Star Domain, Zaohe Star Domain, and Luotian Star Domain, covering the entire realm, seemingly erasing any concealment in the starry sky. The enormous sealing formation that had locked the realm for thousands of years began to materialize for the first time. In the Cloud Sea Star Domain, teams of cultivators, who were originally moving through the mist, suddenly saw golden ripples coming from afar. They swept away the mist and the starry sky, revealing the massive formation beneath the heavens. In the Zaohe Star Domain, countless cultivators were preparing for battle. As golden ripples spread, they were all stunned, staring at the starry sky as if a mysterious veil had been removed, unveiling the sealing boundary grand formation below. In the Luotian Star Domain, there were numerous teams moving the cultivation star, but now everyone stood frozen in place, gazing at the starry sky, shocked by the massive sealing boundary grand formation beneath them. In the Alliance Star Domain, various small factions, who had been preparing for battle, suddenly stopped in their tracks, all of them gazing in awe at the enormous net that had appeared after the golden ripples passed through the sky. At that moment, all places, all cultivators across the realm, witnessed the sealing boundary grand formation in all its terrifying, intricate detail for the first time. It was boundless in size, covering the entire realm. The intricate net pattern was so shocking that many cultivators, for the first time in their lives, lost their breath as they gazed at the awe-inspiring formation beneath the starry sky. Sealing boundary grand formation. This is the sealing boundary grand formation. the formation that has locked the realm for countless years, existing since the distant past. This. So the starry sky we live in, as Xun'er said, has been sealed by someone. Everything is true. Outside the sealing boundary grand formation, there are the people of the ancient star of antiquity. Within the first-tier star mist of the sea of clouds, in the valley where Red Firm Master resided, his expression changed drastically. He abruptly stood up and took a step forward. Rumbling sounds echoed as he tore through the starry sky, heading straight for the divine sect. Damn it! That's the aura of the ancient immortal domain. Waterpath Master actually possesses such a thing. In the Alliance Star domain, from the location of the Corpsine sect, a startled roar echoed out. Something from the ancient immortal domain. This item appears to be something that merges with the sealing array. Before the fusion, it's extremely fragile. It must not be destroyed. A phantom figure of an old man rapidly coalesced and, breaking through space, shot directly toward the divine sect. Waterpath Master had summoned an immortal from the ancient immortal domain and was granted a golden bell. It was cast using a secret art passed down from the sealing venerable. With the turtle shell in his possession, the transformations of heaven and earth and the aura of the ancient immortal domain were imperceptible to all but himself. Thus, when he suddenly produced the bell to block Wang Lin's punch, it caught everyone completely off guard. Even Red Firm Master and the others, though eager to intervene, were powerless to stop it now. Wang Lin's eyes narrowed. This incredibly pure immortal chi and the illusion created by the sealed realm grand array made his expression turn serious. Though he didn't grasp everything, his sharp intuition allowed him to quickly deduce a great deal. At this most critical moment, Wang Lin didn't hesitate. He sharply retracted his right hand, separating it slightly from the approaching golden bell. Explode for me. Explode. Explode. Waterpath Master's face twisted with madness. With a furious roar, he spat a mouthful of blood onto the golden bell. Only he could control this bell, and now, with all his rage and hatred toward Wang Lin, he unleashed it all. As his shout echoed out, the golden bell, untouched and undamaged just moments before, suddenly trembled. Its golden radiance flickered violently as a destructive aura surged forth. In a thunderous crescendo, an earth-shaking boom erupted, growing more intense with each passing instant. Cracks split the golden bell in every direction. Under the onslaught of this destructive force, it detonated with a deafening blast. This bell from the ancient immortal domain, capable of delaying time in the inner realm for 100 years, shattered completely in that instant. Waterpath Master had lost his mind. His wild laughter echoed manically. As the bell exploded, a golden storm roared forth, rushing straight toward Wang Lin. Though fragile, the power stored within the bell was vast. If it had been merged into the sealed realm grand array, it could have altered the array's structure, making it a sharper double-edged sword for both the inner and outer realms, and stable enough to last 100 years. But now, that power had been drawn out entirely by Waterpath Master to strike at Wang Lin. If that power erupted, not just Wang Lin, even the black-clad elder Zhouda, the middle-aged Yun Fengzi, spirit agile sage, Zhou Jin, everyone within the divine sect, and all beings in the Cloud Sea star domain, would be annihilated in an instant. None would survive, except for the master of the golden spirit power, Waterpath Master himself. He alone would remain unscathed amid the devastation. This was Waterpath Master's madness, to bury Wang Lin alongside the entire Cloud Sea realm. Who dares kill me? Who can kill me? Waterpath Master's manic laughter shook the heavens. He had the right to laugh. Being a third-step great power, he was no weakling. Though he hadn't predicted every detail, he had planned enough. He intended to detonate this golden spirit power and, in destroying the entire Cloud Sea, trigger a shock to the sealed realm grand array. He calculated that it might even cause a flaw in the array. If that happened, he could escape into the ancient star of antiquity. With the merit of his feat, he would be free to roam that land as he pleased. Under the thunderous golden storm, as it began to spread and threaten the collapse of the entire sea of clouds, all floating continents within the Cloud Sea star domain quaked violently. This trembling was a clear sign. a star domain on the verge of destruction. The star mist had long since dispersed. From within, countless ferocious beasts cried out mournfully. Sensing an overwhelming, unstoppable power, they knew that even their strongest bodies would be turned to dust once it spread. The few cultivation stars trembled as well. Within them lived countless mortals, and now, all the living beings of the Cloud Sea faced total annihilation in a single instant. The cultivators turned deathly pale, minds blank as if the end of the world had come. Enormous rifts, each tens of thousands of zhang long, split open across the Cloud Sea nebula. Even the massive sealed realm grand array beneath the starry sky pulsed with flickering light. An ancient aura spread as the boundary sealing array spirit began to faintly appear. Though described at length, all of this happened in an instant. Within the divine sect, atop a cultivation star, a red-robed man appeared behind Wang Lin, the same one who had come from the valley. He stepped forward, raising his right hand, and pressed it directly against the sky-rending storm. Immediately after, the elder from the Corpse-Een sect of the Alliance Star Domain appeared across from him, his expression grim. Forming seals with both hands, he pushed forward frantically. Zhou De and Yun Fengzi, their faces pale, broke away from their battles and rushed in unison, both pressing down with frantic force in an attempt to stop the explosion of this terrifying power. Ling Dong and Zhou Jin also stepped forward within Wang Lin's divine sense. 6 mighty cultivators attacked together, all trying to suppress this horrifying storm. It's useless. You can't stop it. None of you can. Even that old fool, the boundary sealing sovereign, couldn't kill me back then. Do you think you can? You want to kill me, Waterpath Master? Keep dreaming. Waterpath Master let out a manic laugh, his face lit with crazed excitement. Wang Lin, you want to kill me, but you've doomed the entire sea of clouds with your revenge. Even if you had 1,000 lives, I want to see how your Dao heart holds up. I want to see how you'll remain in the inner realm after this. You are the eternal sinner of the inner realm. All across the heavens, dozens of demon sect cultivators at the heavenly decay tribulation stage manifested and rushed over, pale-faced, offering all their strength. From within the divine sect, even the elders who had once aligned themselves with Waterpath Master arrived in haste, desperate to prevent the storm from detonating. In the sky above, Tai Aluo's expression shifted drastically. He stepped forward with a low roar, his long hair whipping around as he pressed both palms forward, resisting the storm with all his might. At that very instant, the heavens twisted. Cultivators from the Ghost Sect descended rapidly. The great Void Sage of the Ghost Sect, his face dark, immediately joined the efforts to restrain the storm. Right after the appearance of the great Void Sage, a monstrous demonic aura exploded outward, engulfing the sky. From above, a colossal face emerged. It was the visage of an ancient demon. In its left eye, 9 demon stars swirled, and upon manifesting, they shot out in 9 directions, each aiming to trap the raging storm. Yet even with such a massive collective effort, the golden storm remained uncontrollable. Everyone watched helplessly as it grew louder, larger, more overwhelming. Red Fur Master, give up on the sea of clouds, came a low voice from the elder of the Corpse-Een sect who had been fighting alongside Red Fur Master. Red Fur Master said nothing. Gritting his teeth, he pushed his primordial force to its limit, fighting to hold back the ever-expanding golden storm. But the force only grew fiercer, forcing everyone to retreat again and again. It had already reached the point of complete instability. If they didn't escape now, they might never have the chance. Wang Lin stood in silence, watching it all unfold. What had begun as a personal vendetta against Waterpath Master had, as the latter said, escalated to consume the entire sea of clouds. The cost left Wang Lin speechless. It wasn't supposed to be like this, Wang Lin murmured as he gazed at the rapidly expanding golden storm. He slowly raised his right hand and pointed it at his brow. So be it. Everyone fall back. Take as many with you as you can. The sea of clouds is lost. Once the sealed realm grand array opens, war begins. But before that, Waterpath Master must die. Red Fur Master let out a bitter laugh. Knowing he could no longer resist, he turned and charged at Waterpath Master. The rest of the cultivators retreated swiftly and bitterly. They knew the sea of clouds was doomed. Countless cultivators, endless living beings, all lost. From this moment on, the inner realm would no longer have 4 great star domains. Only 3 would remain. As they withdrew, Wang Lin pressed his right hand to his forehead. With the last traces of resistance gone, the golden storm now surged forth with terrifying speed. Netherworld. The second ancient god star mark on Wang Lin's brow flashed intensely. Under the raging storm, the sky suddenly darkened. A colossal netherworld beast took form. Its expression blank, it stared dumbly at the golden storm as if trying to comprehend what it was looking at. Its appearance instantly drew every gaze around. All were stunned. Even Red Fur Master paused and turned to look. No one had been paying close enough attention to Wang Lin to notice that he had tamed the netherworld beast. No one here knew. Netherworld, devour! Wang Lin roared, arms sweeping wide, unleashing a thunderous cry amidst the retreat and chaos. The netherworld beast blinked slowly, finally coming to its senses. Still dazed, it opened its massive jaws, and in that instant, a gigantic nether soul maw emerged from its body. That maw was vast enough to devour the stars. Following Wang Lin's command, it opened wide and sucked fiercely toward the storm. The netherworld beast? Useless. It can devour heaven and earth, but not this golden storm. This storm, Waterpath Master started to laugh again, but his laughter suddenly cut short. His eyes went wide in terror. The starry sky trembled, the earth shook, and the ever-expanding golden storm seemed utterly insignificant compared to the abyssal maw. At this moment, as it was sucked in, the surroundings were filled with stunned gazes. Suddenly, the world darkened, and under the thunderous roar of the golden storm, it was devoured by the nether beast. What was especially shocking was that after swallowing it, the nether beast actually chewed for a few moments, as though savoring the taste. Then, it resumed staring blankly at Wang Lin. The surroundings were dead silent. Everyone, including Waterpath Master, stared in a daze at the nether beast. They were eager to see what kind of reaction the nether beast would have after devouring such an unimaginable, powerful golden storm. Even Wang Lin watched the nether beast. After a long time, the nether beast continued to stare at him. Gradually, confusion appeared in its eyes, as if it didn't understand why the people before it, who had once terrified it, were now staring at it in this way. Its body trembled. It was scared. It had been frightened. The confusion in its eyes was replaced by fear. Low growls rumbled from within it, like thunder, shaking the very heavens and earth.